So this is a video of my new propane heater I just installed. This is a 45,000 BTU propane heater. It's infrared, I believe it's called. An infrared heater. So here's the instructions, the manual. It's a SIR 45. I've been here for quite a few years, and I've never got around to really putting in a real heater. So this is basically what it looks like. I just use the forklift here to raise it up into position, and then once it's up in position, I used a chain. The manual calls for number 2 chain, so it's pretty easy to install. I mean, once it comes in the box, all you're doing is basically putting this panel over the top, then you just run your chain up, and then there's a limit as to how far it has to be from combustibles, but that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple looking heater, actually. Inside you see the ignition and the blower. The electrical is right here, just a few connections here. And then you just run this wire here from the draft blower motor. So it's pretty straightforward. Let's see. And then what I did with the exhaust, which I thought was going to be a real pain, but it really wasn't too bad. I just basically used type B double-walled exhaust tubing. Supposedly you're not really supposed to use it in an application where there's forced exhaust, but I called the local inspectors, the permit inspectors, and they said it was okay to go ahead and use it, because I really don't want regular pipe running through my ceiling. It gets too hot, I would imagine. Then I went out to Home Depot, got this pipe, and it came with this tube here. So I just put that in there, and that's pretty much it. Ran the exhaust. It's supposed to be on a slope, so I guess so moisture doesn't go back towards the heater, so it's going back towards the thimble that I put in. So there's a thimble down there that I put in, and I hung it on the metal here and just pop the pipe in, and then it's in pretty much. So while I'm waiting for the propane company to come out and install my gas tank, I just went on ahead and got some fittings and ran it into this 20-pound propane bottle. And I put this 11 water column regulator here. The manual says that it'll run on 11 water columns up to 14, so that should do it. And when they come out, I'll just put a hole here going to the back and put this on. Goes like that, and then they can do the rest with their regulator on their end. So for now, it's just to test it. I've already tested the pipe to make sure there's no leaks. I put air on it. It holds air. I used soapy water to, I fixed all the leaks. So yep, it goes all the way back to the heater. It's not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on so you hear what it sounds like. So it's a 30-second purge. It blows anything out of the exhaust for 30 seconds, and then it'll start up. So 30 seconds, and then the ignition will fire. So the green light is for power. There it goes. Red light is for the blower to tell the ignition system that the exhaust blower is running, because there's a vacuum line. That clear line is the vacuum line. And then the orange light at the end says that there has been ignition of the fuel. So even with that little 20-pound tank, it does work. And I ran the thimble all the way outside, and I made it to come out just past the eave of the roof there, because I didn't know if there was going to be a lot of moisture going up in there and damaging anything. So far, I just tested it last night. It looks like it's working just fine. Looked like something popped out. I don't know what that was. Oh. So this is something that fell out because I was cutting the chain. So that piece fell out. But anyway. But yeah, so it's running just fine off a 20-pound tank. Usually these are full with about 4.5 gallons of fuel, so I don't know how long it'll run on it, but like I said, it's just temporary till I get somebody to come out with a new tank. So, I mean, once it gets going, like when you first start them, it doesn't feel that hot. It kind of feels a little bit warm, but as time goes on, it gets warmer and warmer, and it feels really good. It's like a blanket of heat. So once you get too far away from it, you don't feel anything. But when you get right underneath it, it feels like a blanket of heat. That's the only way I can describe it. So we'll see what happens. If it gets too cold, I mean, right now it's about 75 degrees in October. Once it gets warm enough, I mean, once it gets cold enough, if it's not hot enough, then I can always probably get a bigger one. But yeah, I so far I like it. I think it's a great piece of equipment to put in. I don't have to worry about the door being open and causing a problem, because it just heats whatever it can beam heat onto instead of heating the air. So it feels pretty good. So yeah, as far as the electrical circuitry, I put in a 15 amp circuit breaker, and I just put in a switch and basically ran it directly to the heater. There's nothing else there. I figure if it doesn't get too hot, I can always shut it down if I need to, if it gets too hot. But I don't think it will. I believe if I need to, I can run another heater going out across, but I don't think I'll need to run one. That would be a total of 90,000 BTUs. I don't think I'll need it, but we'll see what happens. So as you can see, it's coming up. It'll go over 400 at some point here. But out here behind the building, I'm gonna have a tank set right here. So this tank will be a upright 420 pound. I think it's 100 gallons. I think they fill it up to about 100 gallons, but it can hold up to 120 gallons. So that's what it'll be put right here. I'll put some paver blocks here, and the hole will be put in the side. That way they can set the tank right here, and hopefully 100 gallons should hold me for at least a year, I would think. But yep. And I don't think that exhaust gets very hot. It doesn't seem like it gets very hot at all. So it looks like 75, 80 degrees. But I'm not really close to it, so it's hard to say what it'll do, because it's double wall pipe. But yeah, right in here you can really feel the heat. Very, very warm right here. Now we're at 480, 490, it's almost 500. Yep. So yep, as time goes on, it'll get warmer and warmer. So, yep, that's pretty much it.